If you live in or around Papillion, you might be familiar with SIDs. You might live in one, you might be considering buying property in one, or you may simply have heard the term mentioned in discussions about new growth and annexation. But what is an SID? SID stands for Sanitary and Improvement District. SIDs are a temporary financing mechanism for the public improvements needed to serve new development. They create a temporary form of government that is able to secure government rate bonds and levy property taxes and special assessments to fund the construction of infrastructure. This includes the street, water, and sewer connections needed to serve properties within a subdivision. SIDs can be residential, commercial, industrial, or a mix of uses. Without an SID, the cost of building public infrastructure would fall on either the city or private developers, which would either draw funds away from city projects and services within city limits, or likely limit the number of developers and developments in an area to only those that are the most profitable. An SID allows public infrastructure costs to be funded by the new property owners within a subdivision, essentially allowing new growth to pay for itself. When an SID is annexed, the city assumes its debt as well as the costs associated with providing city services such as police, fire, and street maintenance. When this happens, the SID's property tax levy is then replaced with the city's property tax levy. As a tool for development, SIDs ensure that infrastructure construction matches the pace of new development, allowing for orderly growth within a city's extraterritorial zoning jurisdiction without placing financial burden on existing residents. When new construction keeps pace with demand, step-up options are available, and movement within the housing market helps to maintain affordable housing availability within the city. If you live in an SID, here is some additional information. Each SID has its own board of trustees responsible for the subdivision finances and planning. The board sets the SID tax rate. New board members are elected every 2 years by the property owners within an SID, and SID board meetings are open to the public. SIDs go through two main phases. In the first phase, the SID board is composed of the developer and associates, but over time, as the development nears completion, the board becomes primarily composed of property owners. The SID and its board is then dissolved once it is annexed.